Hello, how are you? Have you been cookie baking? Memory making. 'Tis the season. I've got a story for you this evening. It's for Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. Lots of latkes. If you don't know what latkes are by the end of this story, I'm sure you will. So this is Rivka Leah, and she lived in a little village in between two tall mountains. And she decided, as Hanukkah drew near, that she would like to invite her friends to come for a Hanukkah feast. And so she sat down and wrote a note. And the note said, "I hope you will all come. I will make my special latkes, and please contribute something that we may have with our meal that evening. And don't forget your menorahs." And so they received their invitations. First was Moishe the milkman. He said, "Oh, after I milk the cows, I'll make some sour cream. And of course, they'll be great to have. Lots of tubs of sour cream, actually, with the latkes. And I won't forget my menorah." And after Moishe the milkman, there was a woman also who lived nearby, and her name was Marcel. She had a beautiful apple orchard, and Marcel said, "I know what I can bring. I'll go down to my root cellar. And in the root cellar, I just happen to have a barrel of apples, and I will make a delicious applesauce to go with the latkes. And of course, I'll remember my menorah." And after Marcel, along the way, there was a man by the name of Solly. Solly was a fisherman. Solly said, "I'm so near a lake, I'll put a little hole in the ice, and I'll get some fish to fry. They will be absolutely delicious with the latkes. And, of course, I'll remember my menorah." And really, a fourth person was coming as well, and that would be Rishi, the baker. Now, Rishi loved to bake, and she said, "Oh, I have put up many jars of jelly. I'll go down into my sugar tub and bring up some sugar and make lots of donuts. That would be a delicious dessert for our latkes. My, my, my." Everyone, you can see, was quite excited to receive this invitation. And then the morning dawned of the Hanukkah feast, bright and sunny. And out to the barn went Moishe the milkman, and oh my goodness, the cow knocked over the pail of milk. "Oh no, what do I now have to contribute? I can't make any sour cream." Oh dear, and he went inside to think about it. And then the next person, the person you've met, Marcel, had an orchard, and she went down to her root cellar, and guess what? The barrel of apples was mostly rotten. "Oh, what shall I bring?" She went inside to make a cup of tea and to think about it. And then, of course, there was Solly, the fisherman. And Solly'd gone out and sat at the lake and made a hole in the ice. And he waited, but the fish weren't biting. And as he whittled and whittled a twig, he worried too as he went home, saying to his faithful dog, "What is it I shall bring? Oh my, there is no fish." Last but not least, Rishi, the baker. And Rishi was very excited. She went to see what her sugar tub looked like. And oh my goodness, the sugar tub was half eaten by the mice. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I can bring jars of jelly, but oh my, what else can I bring? And inside she went to think about it. Now you can imagine that everybody was a little upset, but the day dawned bright and sunny of the Hanukkah feast, and they came, and the guests arrived, and Rivka Leah looked at their little parcels and said, "I am so happy you are here, and I wonder what you brought to go with my latkes." And everyone looked a little sheepishly, one at the other, and came inside. And what do you suppose? The first was Moishe. "I'm sorry. The cow knocked the milk over, so all I have for you are some latkes." Everyone laughed and looked at each other. And next, of course, came Marcel. "When I went to my apple barrel, they were all rotten. Oh, so I couldn't make applesauce, but I brought some latkes, my auntie's very old recipe. You will love them. Oh dear, and Avron the fisherman said, I'm sorry, there were no fish biting, but I have made some latkes. They are good ones. By now, everyone was looking at each other with great surprise. Good thing they all liked latkes. And last but not least, dear, dear little Rishi the baker. She was unable, of course, with no sugar, to make any donuts. But I have made some latkes. I hope you will enjoy them. And everyone had a good laugh. And Rivka Leah said, ha, 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 so many latkes. Lots and lots of latkes, said Sally and Marcel. Lots and lots and lots, said Moishi and Rishi. What shall we do? Well, we have other talents. For example, I can tell the story of Hanukkah really well, said Solly. And when I was fishing, I whittled a dreidel. Wow, that's really, really good. And then I brought my fiddle to play some cheerful music, said Marcel. And Rishi said, I know some songs that I can lead. And finally, Rivka Leah said, I know about dancing. And we can dance together. I can teach anyone. And so Moishi told the story of Hanukkah in his booming voice. And Sally joined in. They acted out the miracle of the Maccabee soldiers and the small jar of oil that lasted for 8 nights. Everyone was enthralled. The cats were asleep. The snow was swirling. The dogs were listening attentively. It was quite a night, this beautiful night. The friends ate, they drank. They played dreidel. They sang and danced by the blazing light of the menorahs well into the night, until dawn shed its rosy light over the valley. And so, the story of lots of latkes. It's an easy one, isn't it? Now, if you haven't figured out by now, latkes are crispy little pancakes. Very traditional, lovely food. And here's a recipe, if you want Rivka Leah's recipe. 4 medium potatoes peeled, 1 medium onion, and they are grated together into a bowl with 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of flour and 1/2 cup of oil. And after you've grated the potatoes and onion, added the salt, the eggs, and the flour, last but not least, you put little spoonfuls into the oil to fry. Make sure they're brown on both sides and serve them with, guess what? Applesauce and sour cream. I wish you happy Hanukkah and to all enjoy this season of light. Good night.